It's a very big, brilliant sound, and I think it's perfect for this hall, which is fantastic for orchestra, but it needs a piano that will cut through the acoustics so people hear every note, and I think you chose it beautifully. Well, the thing is, every pianist I talk to thinks, oh, you're playing the Beethoven second, it's wonderful, we love it. Everybody seems to love it. And no one asks for it. I mean, very rarely. It's the least asked for. I suppose because he wrote it first, and you know, the people always want to play the impressive concertos, number 5, number 4, number 3, and but everybody loves Argerich, Ashkenazi, and anyone I talk to, and I find it a really refreshing young piece, really quite a perfect little piece. What's interesting about it is, well, the first movement follows typically Mozart form. There are a few modulations that are a bit like Schubert, which is sort of an innovation from Beethoven's part that forecasts the romantic attitude. What's the most interesting for me is the cadenza he wrote 20 years later. At the time he wrote the Hammerklavier Sonata, so it's an enormous cadenza. It's for the full range piano almost. The piano of this concerto is stops at F, and the cadenza is an enormous. It's a bit, yes, like one of those last sonatas where he makes a fugue out of very small motives in the first movement. It just shows an enormous virtuosity of composition. And the second movement is interesting because it's long, just like the first and the third concertos. Later in life he made very short second movements, especially 4 and 5 is shorter. On the other hand, the last movement is very tiny. It just goes right through. It reminds me a bit of the Tchaikovsky concerto, which in the Americans used to say are bottom heavy. You know, they have these big first movements, and then the last movement is just a tiny little thing added on.